Hi, my name is Kumail Nanjiani, and I feel skeptical about being Conan O'Brien's best friend.
Well, wow, you added best friend. It
Oh
doesn't.
my God, it does not say
It
that.
doesn't
on
say.
purpose?
You did that on
No.
purpose. Well, guess
Oh
what?
my God.
Guess what? I don't really have a best friend.
You don't
so
have a.
You could be in the running.
Are you looking?
I am.
I bring a lot to the table.
You know what? First of all, you do. You are very talented. I've been enjoying your comedy. You're a hilarious person.
Thank you.
And you've had this incredible career arc. I would be proud to call you my best friend. And there's a couple of people out there listening right now who think they're my best friend.
Yeah, like Timothy Olyphant. I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is it really him?
No, he's not my best friend. I love Timothy Olyphant, but he's been getting a lot of play recently because we released a Jordan video, which we haven't released in a while. And we released a Jordan video because Jordan has been making cameo appearances on the side, Jordan Schlansky. And we made a video where I rip into him for that. And he comes right back at me, and his riposte, his angry comeback is,
I know you have your celebrity friends, you have your dinners with Timothy Olyphant.
people really like that line. And I know for a fact because I get contacted right after that video came out, hours after it came out, I'm contacted by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And it's a quote, and it says, "You have your dinners with Timothy Olyphant!" Exclamation point. And he said, this is burning a hole in my brain. That Jordan shouted this at you.
You guys are one of the famous friendships. There's famous friendships. Like, Mulaney and Pete Davidson is a famous friendship.
Right.
There are like famous friendships. And I feel like you and Timothy Olyphant are.
I want it to be. I love that guy, but he'll go off for 7 months at a time. He's a working actor in demand, and he'll be making a movie in Wales, and I don't see him, and I can't have that in a best friend. You, I know, are very busy,
But I'll be around.
You'll make the time.
Yeah. That sounds so sinister.
You'll make the time.
It's
Kumail.
Very needy.
Yeah, unbreaking eye contact. You haven't blinked for the last 3 minutes.
My eyes are painted on. I'm a creepy doll in a museum. It's so much fun because you came by. This happens so often, but and it's the nature of this gig. But you came by about 10 minutes ago to record the podcast, and you and I started talking comedy and TV shows. And I'm a massive, my son and I are massive fans of Silicon Valley, and we rewatch it and kind of study it. We love it so much. We were talking about that. We were talking about The Simpsons. We were talking about all kinds of stuff. And people around us are saying, why aren't we recording this? But you're one of those people who the minute I see you, I feel like, oh, Kumail and I could talk for maybe like 4 hours about things we like.
That's so great to hear, because I feel the same way about you. And the last time we ran into each other was at a restaurant.
Exactly.
You introduced me to Martin Short.
That's
and
right.
Liza, who I don't think I'd met before. She's lovely.
Yep.
And Martin Short, I was, very, very excited to meet. What a nice guy.
Yeah, it was a really sweet moment because Liza, my wife, and I were having dinner with Martin Short, and you came in and you had your own posse at the table. You had a cool group together.
I had a nice group. You came by, you said hi, and then you walked away. And then when I went over, I was like, hey, would you introduce me to Martin Short? You were like, come by. So I went over like
you
half
asked
hour
me,
later.
and that was sweet because it was a nice moment because you were so sweet about, oh my God, if you could just introduce me to Martin Short, that would be like I've never met him. And so it was one of those nice moments in life where all I had to do was say, oh, Marty, Kumail, and he was very happy to meet you. I did nothing except, but I felt you treated me as if I had done you this huge favor, even though all I did was...
Now that I think about it, you didn't do very much.
I didn't do anything.
It
So
doesn't sound like it.
Maybe you should be best friends with Martin Short.
Yes.
I feel like we could have a good famous friendship going, because he's a very nice, giving man. I don't know.
What do you mean giving man? Hold on a second. A giving man. I love how
contrast to Conan.
He's a
yes,
given man.
That's how it was. That's how it was laid out.
Well, what I mean is, when I met him, I think he understood how much he meant to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like extra kind because he knew that him being nice to me would mean a lot to me.
Yes.
And the other thing that happened was, this is going to feel like a name drop, but you came, you said hi to people at our table. There was a gentleman sitting next to me, and you talked to him for a while. Good to see you, whatever. And then you went and sat down. When I came, met Martin Short. He was lovely. And then you were like, hey, who's the guy sitting next to you? And I said, Ewan McGregor? Is that
What?
I didn't recognize that it was Ewan McGregor.
He had
Now,
a big beard.
He had a big beard, and it was outdoors because it was still one of those COVID
Where it's
situations.
famously hard to see outdoors.
Were you?
At night with bad lighting.
He was wearing a T-shirt that said, "I'm Ewan McGregor."
And I didn't recognize him right away. I
He
just
had
said
a-
hi. I was very pleasant to him. And also, I'm going to say this.
You
I
were
was,
very pleasant, and you didn't
I
recognize
stood,
him?
I stood behind. I was talking to you. He had his back to me, and I kind of did one of those highs around the corner thing. So I didn't really get a good look at him. I swear to God.
With that Scottish accent? What about
And those
that?
eyes?
Those
He didn't
Yeah.
say
That
much.
hair?
He didn't say
Did
much.
you
And he,
act like you recognized him?
no, I
Yeah.
thought he was. I was just being very polite to a human being.
You were being very polite, and I didn't realize that you didn't recognize him. Like, you did a good job. And obviously, as soon as I went back, I was like, hey, by the way, he had no idea who you were. I'm joking. I didn't do that.
But
I
also,
did not do that.
I've interviewed Ewan McGregor. I love Ewan McGregor. I love his work. But when I saw him, I didn't get a good look at his face. He has a big beard. It's dark out.
Yeah,
We're in
because
this
he's
rest-
playing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, but
he
hold
had a
on.
lightsaber at the time.
Yeah, but he wasn't wearing a kilt. He didn't have a tam o' shanter.
No. Oh, no.
I saw
Why
no-
are you directing it
Oh.
outwards?
I
Why
saw
to
no.
him?
I saw
Yeah.
no bagpipes.
Why are
I saw,
you attacking him?
You know, he wasn't saying, "Can you score me some heroin for my part in Train Spotting?" I mean, things that were.
I like that you needed clarification for what movie you were referencing. The most famous heroin movie that introduced us to Ewan McGregor.
Really? Is it the most famous heroin movie?
Yes,
there are
yes.
so many.
What's-
I think Wizard of Oz is a heroin movie.
Okay.
The
wow.
poppies. The poppies. I mean, I'm sorry. They all get high on the poppy field
I
and
mean,
collapse.
you could have said Requiem for a Dream, which is obviously like a drug movie.
Uh-huh.
But I want to say, you said something to me at that thing that I thought was
By the
very-
way, who is Ewan McGregor?
Oh,
Oh God! Oh my God! Matt's gonna explode right now. You're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh,
Yeah.
please. No, that was Alec Guinness.
okay.
Um,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Wasn't he Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, but come on.
Oh,
You know.
let me guess. Did they make other Star Wars movies
Oh.
afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh, don't mess with perfection.
I like that you're attacking Ewan McGregor, the one guy who is not at fault here.
Yeah. Really.
I'm really not attacking him. I swear to God. And Ewan, I know you're a big fan of the podcast and you're listening. I am not attacking you. I am sorry you had a giant beard. You were not wearing overtly stereotypical Scottish
Oh,
attire,
God.
which I think is the job of anyone from
Right.
Scotland.
You recognized me because I was wearing a shalwar kurta at the time.
You were. Yes. Yes.
And I had a map of Pakistan with an arrow pointing, and it said homeland.
Yes.
How do you know who he is today?
Because when he
T-shirt
walked in, he was holding again the aforementioned map that had a big map of Pakistan and it said homeland. And
Yeah.
so that helps me. Those things
Yeah,
help me.
and I brought the traditional sweets of my people.
Yes. That's what Sona did when I first met her. She brought me the traditional dried pomegranate and
Oh
apricot
God!
of
Yeah.
the Armenian people.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, you're Armenian. Let me make fun of you for
I
the
would
next
never,
14 years.
never do that. You can't get away with that in this day and age, and I
You said
never
I
would.
floated in this country in a basket. So
Not true.